Some of the most financially successful people are not the smartest in the room, and some of the most intelligent people quietly struggle with money for years. This feels counterintuitive. We often assume intelligence naturally leads to better decisions, better planning, and better outcomes. Yet real life keeps challenging that assumption. You may know someone who earns well, understands complex ideas, and solves difficult problems, yet lives paycheck to paycheck, avoids investing, or feels constant financial stress. You may even recognize parts of this pattern in yourself. So the question isn't whether intelligence matters. It clearly does. The deeper question is why intelligence alone so often fails to translate into financial stability and long-term wealth. If you're smart, you should be able to manage money well. You understand numbers, you can analyze risks, you can plan ahead. You can learn financial concepts quickly. In theory, this should give you an advantage. This belief is reinforced by education systems that reward cognitive performance and problem-solving ability. We're trained to associate intelligence with success. When financial challenges appear, we often assume the issue is a lack of knowledge or discipline. But many intelligent people already know what they should do. Save consistently. Avoid unnecessary debt. Invest for the long term. Live below your means. The problem is not ignorance, it's execution. Psychology suggests that intelligence and behavior operate through different systems. Being cognitively capable does not automatically make someone emotionally regulated, habitually consistent, or resistant to bias. In fact, research in behavioral science shows that intelligent individuals can be especially vulnerable to certain decision errors. They tend to overestimate their ability to predict outcomes, underestimate uncertainty, and rationalize poor decisions more convincingly. Intelligence improves your ability to explain your choices. It doesn't always improve the quality of the choices themselves. Financial success depends less on analytical brilliance and more on repeated behavioral patterns. Consistency, patience, emotional regulation, and environmental design matter more than mental horsepower in most real-world financial contexts. One key mechanism is what psychologists call overconfidence bias. Intelligent people often trust their judgment deeply. This can lead them to believe they can time markets, pick superior investments, or optimize complex strategies better than average. Confidence feels like competence, even when uncertainty remains high. Another mechanism is cognitive rationalization. When a decision is emotionally driven, a luxury purchase, an impulsive investment, a lifestyle upgrade, intelligent minds can construct sophisticated justifications afterward. The brain becomes very skilled at protecting its self-image rather than correcting behavior. There is also the issue of mental bandwidth. High cognitive work often creates fatigue. Decision fatigue reduces self-regulation. When mental energy is depleted, the brain seeks comfort, convenience, and relief, even when those choices conflict with long-term goals. Finally, intelligence does not automatically build habits. Habits form through repetition and environment, not reasoning. You can understand compound interest perfectly and still fail to automate savings if the system around you doesn't support it. Imagine a highly capable professional who spends their day solving complex problems. They manage projects, analyze data, and make high-stakes decisions. By the end of the day, their mental energy is depleted. On the way home, they scroll through their phone and see a promotion for a new gadget. They've been meaning to save more, but the purchase feels justified. They rationalize it as a productivity upgrade or a well-earned reward. The decision isn't reckless in isolation, but repeated weekly, it quietly erodes savings capacity. The individual remains intelligent, informed, and ambitious, yet their financial behavior is shaped by fatigue, reward-seeking, and habit patterns rather than deliberate planning. Over time, the gap between potential and outcome grows. If intelligence alone is insufficient, what actually helps? First, reduce reliance on constant decision-making. Automate saving and investing so well that good behavior happens without effort. Make defaults work in your favor. Second, design friction thoughtfully. Delay large purchases. Remove saved payment information. Introduce waiting periods that interrupt impulsive loops. Third, protect cognitive energy. Schedule financial decisions when you're rested and focused. Avoid making money choices when emotionally charged or mentally depleted. Fourth, build identity-based habits. Instead of relying on discipline, reinforce small behaviors that align with the identity you want to embody. Planner, investor, long-term thinker. These strategies work because they reshape the environment the brain operates within rather than demanding constant willpower. Over time, financial outcomes become less about how smart you are and more about how reliably your systems support good behavior. Intelligent people who build simple, consistent systems often outperform equally intelligent people who rely on constant optimization and complex strategies. Wealth grows quietly through stability, not brilliance. The compounding effect of small, repeatable behaviors often outweighs occasional flashes of insight. Understanding this shifts how you evaluate success. Instead of asking, "Am I smart enough?" the more useful question becomes, "Is my environment designed to support my goals?" Intelligence is a powerful tool, but it is not a behavioral guarantee. Without supportive systems, emotional regulation, and habit design, even the brightest minds can struggle with money. The advantage comes not from thinking harder, but from designing smarter defaults. Once you recognize that distinction, you begin to build financial stability not on willpower or cleverness, but on alignment between your environment, your habits, and your long-term intentions. And that is where sustainable progress quietly begins.